How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the podcast / vlog. Today, it's a Friday, and it is also my leg day. So let's get to talking about my leg day. So Friday leg day. Friday leg days are a pretty good leg day. Tuesdays I do leg days, but it's more like mediocre-ish, I guess, if I had to rate the two. Fridays is when I incorporate things like back squats. And so with that, I actually start my day out with a heavier sort of focus on stretching. And I do this because my back squats are 3 sets of 5 and I'm aiming for heavier weight. I want to hit heavier weights for sets of 5 rather than doing lower reps lower weight for higher reps. And so far it's been working. I am currently back squatting, I think 255. I started with a pretty conservative number, getting back into the gym, and I've slowly increased the weight by 5 pounds every single week. Anything over 225, and that's when I start to incorporate my squat belt or weightlifting belt, because I don't want to have too much unnecessary strain on my lower back. I'm definitely more concerned with injury prevention than I am with trying to be able to squat, say, natural or beltless. It's been my experience before that whenever I squat heavy and I make it that steady increase, that my beltless number also goes up subsequently. When I first got started on I believe it was a Smolov Jr. Squat routine, I made it up to a 1 rep max of 405, which was sort of like my milestone. I didn't really know where I wanted to go after that, but lo and behold, a baby and a marriage later, it was nowhere. I didn't continue to pursue anything heavier than 405 after that. Back in the garage gym, when I got back into squatting, I did another Smolov Jr. and I was able to get back to 405 once again, but at the cost of sort of my knees. I don't know if it's just something that comes with getting older. I don't want to look at it like as an excuse or anything like that, but with age, certain things start to change. I mean, your bones start creaking, your knees start popping, and your joints start feeling a little bit more achish, to put it mildly. And so with that, my knees were really taking a toll from that Smolov Jr. I invested in knee sleeves. They were really janky knee sleeves. They weren't even like really, really good knee sleeves. I would recommend that if any of you out there are looking into getting into squatting heavy, that I heard it from Brandon Fitness on YouTube, to buy right or buy twice. And he couldn't be more on the nail or on the head or on something with that statement. These knee sleeves that I purchased, I got them at Big Five. They were like, I think $9 or $10 each. And squatting heavy and having, some meaty thighs and big calves, my legs, when reaching the descent of that squat, just busted through those seams. And I think it's the knee sleeve that I was wearing on the left is just almost torn to pieces. It just it didn't hold up very well. A good knee sleeve brand is like, I think it's a knee sleeve, starts with a R. Reband or Rayband or something like that. I know that Rogue has a knee sleeve. I don't know if it's their own or if it's like another knee sleeve that they just put their logo onto. But those and ST Training or Strength Training, their website, they have a lot of really great and good quality powerlifting equipment and accessories. So investing in knee sleeves, if you're going to start squatting heavy, would be probably my number one recommendation. And it also helps to keep your knees warm. Another sort of little bit of advice that I had gotten early on was that if you think of your tendons or your knees or anything like that, when they're warm, they tend to feel a little bit more loose, or like there's less stiffness to them. And when your knees are cold, they're stiff. And if you think of taffy, when it's stiff, it'll break. But when it's warm or malleable, it'll be able to stretch and contort. So definitely think about that. As I make my progress with my squatting, I want to be able to do currently my current sort of longish / midterm goal right now is to be able to squat 315 for 3 sets of 5. Once I hit that, then my goal is to stay at 315 and increase the reps. I would like to be able to squat 315 for 3 sets of 10. To me, that's a really good number. It converts sort of back squatting from a strength training exercise to even like a cardiovascular exercise, because when I'm front squatting, I'm doing it for sets of 10 and I get winded doing that. So when squatting heavy and squatting higher reps, one of the things to think about is also your form. In those higher rep ranges, your form can often break down because you're just trying to squeeze out that last rep, and it's important to take that into consideration, that you don't want your form to break down. You don't want to try to force any reps, and it's definitely something that I'm humble about, and I may be self-defeating sometimes. So when I could probably squeeze out maybe 2 more reps to get a set of 10 on a bench or any other exercise, I may stop at like 8 or even 7. But to me, there's a long-term goal in mind, but it is also recreational for me. I'm not trying to introduce anything that might cause injury, and I do lift solo as of currently, or as of late, that I'm not in there with a gym partner, so I don't have somebody to spot me and to help me push those extra reps with a watchful eye for assistance. So back squatting 3 sets of 5 today at 255 pounds, and it felt really good. It didn't feel too bad, but one of the things that made it a little bit more tiresome was that when I got into the gym today, all 3 of the squat racks were taken, as well as the leg press machines, both of them. So right away I'm thinking, wow, like this is where I was going to start my workout. Sometimes you already mentally go through your workout before you even get to the gym, not wanting it to dampen my mood. I figured, well, I'll do something else. I didn't want to do any of my accessory work, quads or hamstrings yet. So I decided, I haven't deadlifted in a while. Maybe I'll warm up with some light deadlifts. And I did a couple light sets. I worked my way up to a heavy set of 2 at 405 with the belt. I'm able to do it beltless, but it was early in the morning, and whenever it's that early, I don't want anything like even mental fatigue to throw me off. And put me in a position where I might injure my back. It's happened before where I've lost focus, and for a split second I've lost tightness in my form, and it's cost me. It put me out from deadlifting for, I want to say, a good 2 months. My back just felt like not really injured, but more so tender, that I couldn't really perform that movement without feeling strain. And even, things like moving in bed and trying to roll over and get up in the mornings required stretching before really getting my day started. So knowing that and knowing that I've been in that position before, I wanted to be careful this morning. So once the squat rack opened, I got my 3 sets in, and then I moved to the leg press. And I'm doing single leg presses on Fridays. Today was 2 45-pound plates and 1 10-pound plate on each side. So I'm not sure how much that really is. I don't take into account how much the sled weighs, and I don't want to add up all that weight because I know it'll just continue to go up. So I rather just count the plates. So I did that for 4 sets of 10, really focusing on the mind and muscle connection and the contraction and things like that. After leg press, I moved to stiff-legged deadlifts with dumbbells. This is something new that I've incorporated in my lifting. Before I was doing stiff-legged deadlifts with a barbell, and it would feel good, but as it started to get heavier, I felt as if my lower back was starting to become more dominant in that lift. If you've ever done like hyperextensions on a hyperextension machine, those are really great at targeting the hamstrings and allowing you to feel sort of that contraction with that lift. But I don't really want to continue to keep going up there and having to work on that machine. So I ended up incorporating some stiff-legged deadlifts, and I tried the barbell. It was working out okay for a little bit, and then I moved to the Smith machine. I was doing stiff-legged deadlifts with the Smith machine, and it was all right. But I felt like I was that guy who's like deadlifting on a Smith machine, because though I'm keeping my knees stiff, people might look over and say to themselves, hey, is this guy really deadlifting in the Smith machine? So I moved from that, and for the past 2 weeks, I've been doing stiff-legged deadlifts with barbells. I was using the 80-pound barbells today. The last record I have of stiff-legged deadlifts with barbells in my weightlifting log, I left off at 105-pound barbells, or dumbbells, I should say. 105-pound dumbbells. So again, I went conservative getting back into this and started with 75. And last week I was at 80 and it felt heavy. I do 3 sets of 7. I don't really go for 10, but I also don't want to do 5. So I feel 7 is a happy medium, and it felt heavy to me last week, so I decided to stay and do the same lift at the same weight this week. And after that was it. That was the leg day. I've been debating on incorporating something else with my leg day. For anybody out there who would recommend calves, you can save it. I don't really work calves. I don't care to be on the calf machine. I don't know what strengthening my calves would do for my lifts in regards to my squat. If doing calves would increase how much I can push on my squat, then maybe I would incorporate it. But to me, it's a vanity lift. I'm content with the way my calves look, so I don't really care about getting them toned or getting any definition in my calves so that they look a certain way while wearing shorts. And then because my day started a little bit later, due to the inconvenience of, other gym goers being on the equipment, and apparently everybody's leg day moving to Friday. I had to cut my cardio a little bit short. I did 20 minutes on the stairs at level 4, and I kept it a pretty steady state. My heart rate around 135 beats per minute. And after that, I was done. I was out of there. It was, all in all, maybe a little over an hour in the gym today. And I don't know, it felt pretty good. So, yeah, I think that I tried to pull out the camera this time. I wanted to record, but again, it's that newer crowd, and I'm comfortable, but I'm not that comfortable yet to whip this bad boy out and start recording my lifts. I've done a couple videos in the gym, but that's when I'm with other people. While in there solo, it's kind of much, I guess. And my time is kind of limited, so I do tend to focus more on my lifting. Maybe I'll start doing some home gym lifts, recording deadlifts and maybe back squats. But for right now, it's really just this. It's the video diary, the vlog. So thank you guys again for taking the time to listen to this and to hear what I have to say. Again, this journey that I'm on right now is just primarily for weight loss. So not really trying to push anything in terms of making heavy weight gains or on the bar or lifting or making any PRs right now. So yeah, if you guys are listening to me on YouTube, be sure to give me that thumbs up. Be sure to give me that like. If you're finding me on iTunes or the Google Play Store, a review would be great, 5 stars preferably. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.